Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives of Miami, Season 6, Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yes, I'm sorry that I'm so late on this franchise. You know, it's one of my favorites. It's just, life been lifing. So now, I have this weekend off. I'm going to try to get this franchise, Salt Lake City, remember them? And, I'm going to finish up my girls at Beverly Hills too. So, with that, we open this episode 1. Production is on there, Shonda Rhimes, and showing us what happened in the future. It's a Nuevos Horizontes party held by Alexia. We see the drama going down at the party, and then they fade to black to 1 week earlier. And scene. So we're with Cuban Teresa, that's Alexia by the way, with her man at the beach. So we get a little update on her relationship with her husband. They've known each other for 7 years, but as y'all saw in the previous seasons, they're still newlyweds. They're now talking about this weird apology he gave Nicole's husband after he showed his entire ass at that dinner that they had. I think it was like the Gringo dinner. I remember when this apology came out and I was like, maybe Nicole's husband threatened legal action. But no, it was all on his own accord. He just wanted to give him an apology. A 9-minute one. Nicole said they appreciated it, but it didn't have to be on social media. Then we see Alexia say she didn't even know he was going to do that. So then she tells her husband she wants to have a gathering with all the ladies and their partners and have a Nuevos Horizontes. Nuevos Horizontes. I don't know, I can't say it as fast as she did, but a New Horizons party. Alexia's trying to cosplay as a peacemaker. Oh Lord, so next scene we're with Larsa, and her main plot line this season is going to be talking to that, what's his name? It don't even matter, Michael Jordan's son. The son of her former husband's teammate. I saw Larsa at BravoCon and walked right past her. I just don't like her energy on the show, and if I don't care for you on the show, I really don't want to meet you in person. So they're on this yacht right now. I forgot to mention Lisa's there too. They're in a good place now. And it looks like she's moved on. She got a man. Hopefully he treats her like she deserves to be. There's just a certain fakeness to Larsa that I really don't like. And maybe it's because she just reminds me of a Kardashian. So then Lisa gives us an update on her divorce, and she's not. And she says, the proceedings get worse and worse each day. And, he had a prenup, but she's like, F that prenup. What she's been through, they've been together for 15 years. Yeah, she deserves more than what he's trying to give her. I know we're going to hear a lot about Lenny this season, but at least we don't have to see Lenny this season. Next scene, we're with my fave, Dr. Nicole and her husband. They're overlooking their new property since they sold their other one for, I think, $40 million? Yes, $40 million. Their new place is a $21.6 million spot, 6 bedrooms and 6 baths. Child, they're staying in a vacation home while this home getting ready. Money! I totally forgot she was getting married. Look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yes, she engaged, but girl, take your time. And congratulations on the new baby. Well, she didn't have it yet, but congratulations on your pregnancy. I'm talking to the camera like she watching, but maybe she is. She is my favorite housewife of Miami currently. So then we see Gertie stop by because she just so happened to be in the area. Nicole invited her. Oh my God, a 15-car garage? Jeez. See, this is how I like my housewives. It makes me feel poor as fuck. So Larsa is the topic of conversation between the two. Nicole said that they're actually in a good place after the reunion, but Gertie, not so much. And then we cut to Larsa talking to Lisa about Gertie. So Larsa's mad at Gertie because she saw an interview she had asking who is fake, and she said Larsa. She told the truth. I mean, you can't get mad at the truth. Pretty much everything about Larsa is fake. I honestly don't even know where this feud came from. Were they beefing at the reunion? I can't recall. Remind me in the comments if you remember. Oh, so we see Gertie talking to Nicole, and then here we go with the foreshadowing of her breast cancer diagnosis. She's telling her that her doctor called and they need to have an appointment with her about something. Damn, it sucks she found that out when the cameras just came up as the season was filming. So that means that's her entire arc. She had to deal with a breast cancer diagnosis while being in the pressure cooker for Housewives. So next scene we're with Julia and her wife Martina. We get a little update on them. They put their adoption plans on hold because of Martina's cancer diagnosis. She had throat cancer and breast cancer. But thankfully, she overcame it. The only babies they tended to are baby goats. And this baby goat is so annoying and it's shitting everywhere. I just don't understand why people want babies or pets. But that's just me. So then the topic's about Alexia's party coming up, and Julia's saying she's going to give her a chance. She apologized after the reunion, and she's going to test the waters with her friendship with her because she doesn't hold grudges. And don't we hear that in every single franchise? A housewife say, well, I don't hold grudges. Oh my God, is this scene over? Not because they're boring, it's just the fucking goat, that's all. It's like, Look, that goat would have been in some curry immediately. So next scene we're with Lisa as she's getting ready to go to court with Lenny, and it turns out that she still is in this big ass house. So we see Lisa in her confessional saying that she's fully ready to go to trial, and you know, it's scary because the judge is deciding her livelihood, and you know, she's fighting for spousal support, and she deserves it. So next scene we're with Frickin' Frack Miami version, Alexia and Marisol, they're going to lunch. And they're joined by Kiki, who looks stunning as always. Oh, Kiki. So they're toasting with their cockies. Cockies. I'm gonna hear that word a lot on this franchise. And of course they're talking about dicks, but you know, they're saying the C word, which I don't know anyone in my culture that does that, but hey, maybe that shows us who Kiki prefers. And that's no judgment, it's just an observation. So then of course they're talking about New York, and I'm not really sure why they can't just say the reunion. They break the fourth wall all the time on this show. And then they're talking about the upcoming party, and Marisol asks Alexia, did she invite Adriana? And it's, no, of course not. She's still feeling some type of way about it. Side note, I need to find out, no, of course not, the translation to Spanish for this franchise. Let's see right quick. So according to Google Translate, it's no, clare que no. My Spanish speaking people in the chat, correct me if you want. Kiki's trying to be peacemaker and telling her to give Adriana the benefit of the doubt. Marisol is just like, I'm gonna stop you right there. She don't give a fuck. She don't want to see her. Marisol is clearly still upset at what Adriana told her in front of all the ladies, that she saw her ex one day and he told her that he never loved Marisol. Oh, and also for the letter she sent at the reunion signed by her liver. At the end of the day, they still gonna have to film together, so she's gonna see Adriana whether she likes it or not, eventually. So next scene, we're back with Lisa as she leaves the courthouse. She said it was a decent day, but she's just frustrated that she has to go through this whole proceedings because they couldn't reach a settlement. They went to court. Now, unlike Diddy and Cassie's settlement, I don't foresee hers being done anytime soon. So I hope she's in for the long haul. Her ex Lenny is a petty bastard, so I can see him holding out from paying her as long as he possibly can. Child, and speak of the devil, pun intended, Lenny calls her while she's in the confessional. And she's like, well, can you please send me the Venmo for those things? Of course, there's pushback from him. She's like, well, just send it, and hangs up on him. So next scene, we have Julia and Alexia meeting for lunch for a one-on-one. So during this lunch, I thought Julia already knew about Alexia's party, but I'm guessing Alexia invited her to lunch to tell her about the party. So Julia's problem is, like she asks, well, is everybody invited? And Alexia's like, well, I can't invite Adriana because Marisol doesn't feel comfortable. She's gonna be there with her, is that her husband? Her husband? But yeah, Julia's like, if you're calling it a New Horizons party and you're singling one girl out by not inviting her, then, you know, it's not a New Horizons party. It looks like Julia's trying to push her to invite Adriana, but Alexia ain't budging. She says she don't trust the chick. So then it's 2 days later. It's the day of Alexia's party. She's talking to Marisol on FaceTime, and she's saying that she actually talked to Adriana. They went out to lunch. I'm not sure why they didn't show that. We're seeing it in a flashback. So they're hashing things out, and it looked like she forgave Adriana, so she invited her to the party. She's going. I'm sure production kind of pushed Alexia to invite her. But anyway, she's telling Marisol as she's getting ready in her chair that, oh, Well, I'm inviting Adriana now. Marisol is not pleased to hear this and almost threatens not to come. But then Alexia begs her to come because she said her husband isn't going to the party anymore because he thinks they're going to talk about his apology video. He don't want to be involved in the drama. Is he aware of which show his wife signed up for? And yes, when his wife signs up for it, that means you sign up too. Is Alexia serious right now? Like she's doing everything in her power to make Marisol feel bad in order to come. I feel so bad. I'm about to cry. Where are the tears? I want to see the tears. Her husband's a coward, and then you want to tell her that none of these ladies are your friends? Child, whatever. I never liked them, but let's just say they deserve each other. All right, so fast forward to where the episode began, where everyone's arriving at Alexia's house. Every time I see Larsa and Michael Jordan's son, I roll my eyes. He don't even deserve a name. He's Michael Jordan's son. And that smug look on his face, he's in on it. He just wants notoriety. So we see Adriana talking to Lisa's new man. Come to find out, it's a small world. He lives in Adriana's old house where she used to live with her husband and son. One of these days, I'm going to watch the earliest seasons of Miami. It's only 3 seasons. So then we see Gertie and Nicole arrive. As Gertie's coming in, we see Larsa was talking about, she was calling me fake or whatever. Gertie greets her with a hug, and we cut to Larsa's confession. She's like, well, who's fake now? Girl, still you. You're the fakest of the bunch. She wasn't lying. So everyone's getting along so far. The only person that isn't there is Marisol. Marisol not even a full-time cast member, technically, to run rank on who she want to be around. So Adriana has every right to be in the situations with the other ladies, no matter how messy she is. So a little later, Larsa just goes for it and tells Gertie, why did you call me fake? I thought we were in a good place. But we find out, because I was wondering too, like, why did Gertie say that? She's going from the confessionals that she saw last season, particularly when she said Gertie needed to put a muzzle on it when she was trying to give advice to Lisa. We see Marisol arrive, but it don't matter because Larsa and Gertie already getting into it. They didn't even get to dinner yet. Larsa couldn't wait till later to bring this up. Larsa's now getting rah-rah and a little dismissive and disrespectful. Gertie's like, you know what, I'm not even doing this. Bye, love you. Mwah. Gonna do this later. So then Marisol says hello to the other ladies. She has a little trout mouth look on her face because Adriana's in her presence. She doesn't want to be in the same room with her. Well, sorry, deal with it. So the drama has died down a bit. Everyone is seated around, and Alexia is reading a speech off of her iPhone about, I'm guessing, New York, the New Horizons party. It's pretty awkward. Afterwards, she then addresses the elephant in the room, where is Todd, and she's like, well, I don't know either. She's like, don't worry, we're not getting a divorce. He just wasn't feeling coming tonight. Was it just because of that apology? They could have just laughed at it and kept it moving. Anyway, she's talking about the fresh start bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, okay, well that took a turn. Julia, she came ready to play. So Alexia just made a little joke saying, Marisol, thank you for coming. But Julia just points out, well, yeah, Marisol, I'm surprised to see you here. You didn't want to be nowhere near Adriana. So now they're going back and forth, but Marisol is asking for backup from Alexia. Okay, Julia, where is this coming from? Like, she is holding Marisol, like, to the fire. You said you weren't coming if Adriana was gonna be here. I'm not gonna try to imitate her accent, y'all. I don't want to get in trouble. Not you crawl back here. I'm loving this new Julia. I wasn't sure about her on season 4, but, she showed up a little bit on season 5. Definitely a reunion, and look, keep her on the cast. This cast is perfection. Marisol starts to raise her voice, and it looks like that's the men's cue to excuse themselves. Julia says you are the problem in this group, and then calls her devious. At this point, Gertie intervenes like, stop it! It's her version of like, enough! So the men and women disperse for a bit. Marisol kind of calls out Alexia for not standing up for her. Gertie, she's in her head right now. Maybe she got her diagnosis like the day of or something. Like, she just seems checked out. And the drama is kind of triggering her. And she's telling her husband that she's ready to leave. But before that, Larsa is trying to talk to her. But then Gertie starts getting emotional, saying like, Larsa, I'm going to need you at some point. And Larsa, the way she's responded to her, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Why are you crying? I don't like that. Also, was this just a cocktail hour? Like they weren't gonna have dinner? I don't know, I'm confused. But we only have 1 minute left in this episode. So now we're going down the line in the other ladies' confessionals, trying to figure out what's going on with Gertie. Production and this foreshadowing, Jesus. So now we do a Shonda Rhimes rewind with just Gertie and her family. She's talking to her husband, and it turns out she did get the news that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So yeah, she has all this weighing on her. So yeah, I get how she was acting at the party. She's obviously very stressed and frustrated. We see the credits rolling, and that's where episode 1 ends. This was a great premiere. I think it was perfect. I wish I could have got to this episode ahead of time, but I think I got to Vegas for BravoCon on Thursday, so I didn't have time to do it. So with that said, let's get to episode 2. So we open with Nicole talking to Gertie on FaceTime. She's going to organize a happy hour with the ladies she's more closer to on the cast. So it's going to be her, Gertie, Adriana, and Julia. Next scene, we're with Lisa at her man's house, and they're inviting Adriana over, the previous owner of that house. So she's there looking at the changes that he made, and he definitely did an improvement on the decor. Adriana's in her confessional saying she wouldn't have changed anything, but considering how she's dressed, I'm not surprised. Lisa then lets us know that her new boo wants her to move in with him already, and thankfully, she's learned from her prior situation not to just rush into this man's house. Why would she do that? I'm glad she said, well, I'm not divorced yet. Just date, girl. I'm glad she's able to move on so fast, but the next house she moves into, she needs to be on the deed. Next scene, we're with Larsa, Kiki, and Alexia at the gym with a personal trainer. They just playing around wasting this man's time. And we cut to Kiki's confessional, and of course, she's making everything about sex. Did she really just say, I squeeze balls, I suck balls, but I don't lay on balls? Okay. So afterwards, of course, they're talking about Alexia's event the previous evening and why Todd wasn't there. And she kind of thinks that it's because of Adriana if it's not about Nicole and her husband. But Kiki, being the bone carrier, tells Alexia what she said in the car with the other ladies. Basically that who is she without Todd? Because Todd is the one with the money. I couldn't help it. So because of that, it puts her on a level financially where she thinks she's better than some of the other ladies. But this is in Adriana's opinion. Because Alexia definitely isn't the richest in the group. I don't even think she's the second richest. It looks like Alexia ain't phased. She just said that's who Adriana is, a jealous bitch. But, she didn't say it like that, but that's how she meant it. So then Alexia gets a FaceTime from Marisol, and she's inviting the ladies to a gay brunch. Now, is Marisol gay? No. She's just inviting random gays and using them as props for her party. I just think it's a little weird, but I'll wait to see how she executes it. So now we cut to a different group of ladies, Lisa, Adriana, and Julia. They're talking about that night as well, how Julia went off on Marisol. And now the conversation, between both groups is Gertie. Lisa's trying to figure out why is Gertie so upset. Larsa, with her dismissive ass, she was like, yeah, she was crying to me, saying, I'm gonna need you. What does that mean? Larsa definitely lacks empathy. I think she's worse than Erica Jane. I gotta say, she might be one of my least favorite housewives amongst all the franchises. Oh my God, speaking of which, next scene we're with Larsa and Michael Jordan's son. My finger is on the fast forward button. Nope, I don't give a fuck what they're talking about. Let's keep it moving. Next scene we're with Lisa driving to the courthouse for another hearing. So according to Lisa, she says Lenny's worth $60 to $70 million, so she doesn't understand why he's giving her a hard time. He's giving her a hard time because he's a petty asshole. I personally think Lisa deserves the sudden payout, but if not, at least $100,000 a month. So she's headed to the courthouse. Her lawyer calls her and says she could turn around. Lenny agreed to pay temporary support, but we see the article and it's $8,000 a month? That's it? Nah, they need to make that times 10. She says it's a small victory. Keyword small. As she's talking about what she's owed by Lenny, she says, I am the mother of his kids. He left me. Don't be selfish. Be fair. I totally agree with her, and I feel for her that she's going through this. Because he did her so dirty. So next scene is the day of Marisol's gay brunch, and it looks severely underwhelming. She's looking for a lot of gay stereotypes. Like the DJ arrives, she's like, why aren't you shirtless? So she's setting up her boring party. Meanwhile, across town, we're with Nicole, and it's the day of her happy hour with the other ladies. Now, this is the vibe I'd rather be at. And side note, the Miami girls are killing it with the fashions. Honestly, I prefer these group of ladies to the other half. But they sit down, they didn't even get their drinks yet, and Adriana is asking Gertie, oh, so what's wrong? Like, I know you were upset at the party. Gertie's like, slow your roll, let me get my drink first. We cut to Gertie's confessional, and she's just wondering the right time to tell the ladies. And especially, this is the group that she's closest with. This kind of reminds me, and this is some of Chris's business, so one of my really good friends, I would say earlier this year, like we had a whole happy hour situation and you just never prepared for the news. I was kind of blown away by it. He was telling us that he had to get heart surgery because he almost died and we didn't know anything about that and it became an emotional moment. I was like, where are the cameras? Wow. Like it was just like, are we filming right now? So yeah, that definitely came to mind as I'm watching this scene. So we're back at Marisol's shindig. Who are these gays? So Kiki arrives looking stunning, and she lets the ladies know that she was sitting next to Lenny's mistress's ex-husband. And she said that she is such a good friend to Lisa that she would date the ex-husband, you know, just to be petty and get back at Lenny and the mistress. I mean, that's a good friend. So we're back with the other ladies, and Emilio Estefan comes over. I think he's friends with Adriana. He says Gloria's with them too. Like, you know, when I first saw this last season, I was like, is he messing around with Adriana? Because, I mean, it was the body language, but I think y'all told me it's not like that. So, okay. Well, at least so far, it looks like both groups of ladies are having a fun time. Ooh, so we come back to the other group of ladies, and Adriana has the tea. She says she ran into Todd downstairs. Apparently, she isn't the reason that he didn't come up. It's basically, according to Adriana, has to do with marriage issues. Ooh, she's so messy. Keep her on. The girls at the table are gagged, and she's smiling like, yup, yup, yup. We're back at Marisol's party, and Larsa, she just had to have her man on FaceTime. My man, my man, my man. Look, I hate it too. I had a friend who was like crazy in love, and whenever his man called on FaceTime, he had to answer it, no matter where he was. But yeah, anyway, she's saying, oh, say hi to Marcus, say hi to Marcus. I feel the same way like Marisol, like, girl, give it a rest. You got a man, good for you. That man has been gone for 3 days, and she's acting like he's been gone for 3 months. She even tells the lady she's gonna have a welcome home party for him. He's only been gone for a week and a half. So we're with Nicole's group, and they're on the topic of Lisa moving on and possibly like getting engaged again. Somehow we get to Julia saying that she's been engaged 9 times. How is that possible? But hey, I mean, Danielle Staub got her beat. 19 times? Prostitution whore? So now it looks like Gertie's ready to tell the ladies what's really been going on with her. And y'all, this scene, I just got chills because it just reminded me of my friend. I just remember that moment. I just got propelled back into that. I will not be crying on camera. It's just so identical, that's all. Okay, so as she tells them, Adriana, I don't know what that was. Oh my God! Girl, chill out. But Nicole's reaction, that was, oh my God, that was my reaction when my friend told me that. They got me. They got me. It's fine though. So Gertie says that she's gonna have to possibly do chemo, like she needs immediate surgery. She's just worried about her future. Okay, I need Adriana to take it from a 10 to a 3. Well, at least they ended the conversation on laughter, and all the ladies say they're definitely gonna be there for Gertie. So next scene with Alexia and her husband Todd, and the gist of their conversation is him just explaining why he couldn't make it to the event. He didn't feel comfortable. He was in the building's gym the entire time. He said he ran into some of the ladies on their way out. He spoke, but he just didn't feel comfortable in that situation, and he's glad that she's not really mad at him. But I think she is. But also, it seems he omit talking to Adriana about their marriage, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be drama coming up in the season. So next scene, we're with annoying-ass Larsa meeting up with Gertie for lunch for their one-on-one. I don't even know why Gertie's meeting up with Larsa, because Larsa's definitely not a friend to her. Already, she's telling Gertie, let's not cry. Bitch, what? Like, just let her talk. So Gertie's trying to get it through to this floozy how dismissive she is. And I don't know if Larsa's really receptive to it. And Gertie's giving her examples. Wow. Larsa is such a see you next Tuesday. I can't say it. I'll probably say it on the Patreon. Somebody asked me to read fucking Larsa Pippen. Anywho, Gertie's trying to tell her that, Larsa, you need to learn how to provide a safer space when someone's trying to be open towards you. So as Gertie's about to cry, Larsa's like, Gertie, are you really about to cry? Like, do you want me to cry too? You want me to tell you what I'm going through? Really? Really, bitch? Like, I probably would have walked off from the table and threw my drink in her face. She doesn't even deserve to know what you're going through, Gertie, but I guess. Wow, they just abruptly end episode 2 like that. So let's get into episode 3, y'all. Ooh, I'm hot. Hopefully y'all still there with me. So episode 3 opens where we left off, but before we get into that, y'all notice they haven't showed the taglines yet? I'm already 3 episodes in. I wanted to rate them because I don't remember them because I saw them like before BravoCon? Anywho, Larsa continues to be a dismissive bitch to Gertie. They're going back and forth and Gertie just spits it out. She says, I have breast cancer. The first thing Larsa said is, how am I supposed to know that? Are you sure you have breast cancer? Are you sure you have breast cancer? Did you think she was lying to you about that? I probably would have lunged at her with my hands open. How disrespectful, how careless, how unempathetic. I'm done with her and my foot's gonna be on her neck every episode a la Mary Cosby. Larsa says she's sorry, but now she's more worried about, oh, don't put this whole situation on me. She is worried about herself in that moment, her own image, how she looks on social media. Fuck her. Oh my God, like Gertie, get up from the table. Larsa still isn't getting it. She says, I wish you would have told me that when you first sat down. I want to know y'all thoughts on this. Like, just, oh, what a worthless being. Gertie's telling Larsa to keep this in confidence. She says she only told family and 4 people in the group. That's it. So the lunch ends, they go their separate ways. Production has a sense of humor. They're like 6 hours later. They're like, no, seriously, 6 hours later. They have this as a caption, y'all. So then she had this welcome home party for Michael Jordan's son after he went away for a week and a half. Oh my fucking God. Seriously. Like she said, keep that in confidence. Her friends arrive. The first thing she tells them, oh my God, I had such a stressful day. Like Gertie told me she had breast cancer. Oh my God. I'm glad she's getting a backlash from this. Production then rewinds the scene of her promising Gertie that she would keep this in confidence. So now you a lying fake ass bitch. Got it. So people are arriving to her stupid party. We see Lisa come in matching with her boyfriend. Girl, too soon. Pump the brakes. Learn something from this, please. Oh, so correction. Michael Jordan's son wasn't gone for a week and a half, just 5 days. And she has a welcome home party for him. She just wants this man to put a ring on it so she can have access to the money. So the ladies that are there right now is Lisa, Marisol, and Kiki. So then they're asking her, like, how did your lunch with Gertie go? Again, she breaks confidence and tells the other ladies before Gertie gets a chance to, and tells them she has breast cancer. And she just said it without hesitance. She don't give a fuck what Gertie's going through. The other ladies are gagged. I wonder how Gertie feels watching this because I'm mad for her. So then we see Alexia shows up and I'm sure the lady's gonna tell her too. Side note, I'm sure Larsa came out with some bullshit statement after this episode aired. But there is no excuse for what she did. None. And I'm glad production's having fun with it. So then we see Larsa tells Alexia, so all the other girls know because of Larsa. In walks Michael Jordan's son who had no idea she was doing this. I'm guessing it was a surprise. She's a pathetic gold digger. So now all the attention is on Alexia's husband Todd and why he didn't show up to his own party. He's now saying that the reason why he didn't want to come was because he saw the guest list and he didn't want to break bread with people talking about his stepson. So is he talking about Adriana? Because Adriana's telling a different story. Oh, cut to Kiki's confessional and she sees right through the bullshit. She's like, is Adriana being used as a scapegoat? Because looking at the timeline, the math ain't mathin'. This is a scheme by Todd, another Todd, to set us up for the bullshit. So Todd moves on from the topic real quick, and we find out that the next event is going to be by Larsa from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and of course, her boyfriend is involved with it. So the ladies in the minute this party separate. I'm waiting for it to be over and on to the next scene, but the ladies are talking about blowjobs, and I don't care what the men are talking about. Kiki again with the sex talk in the confessional. Maybe it's because I'm watching 3 episodes in a row, but girl, I know there's more to you. There's gotta be. So now Lisa's talking about what she's going through with Lenny. It's almost the 1-year anniversary of him dropping a bomb on her. And she just lets the ladies know she's going after what she deserves. Okay, so Lisa, as she's talking about Lenny, is kind of going off the rails now. And the ladies are trying to remind her, okay, girl, like, you got a new man. Don't talk too much about Lenny. The ladies are trying to change the topic for Lisa's sake, but she keeps going. She's saying that she's cried every night for a year since Lenny left her. Whew, thank God that scene's over. Next scene with Nicole and her husband, and they're going yacht shopping. And this is the reason why I watch Housewives. So then we see the two of them discussing that they're ready for round 2, which means having another baby. Why people want kids, I don't know. But thankfully she was successful. She's currently pregnant. Saw her at BravoCon, told her congratulations. I love me some Dr. Nicole, if you didn't know. Child, even Nicole pointed it out. Yeah, we're talking about baby number 2, but we still got a wedding to plan. Like I said earlier, they seem fine not being married. They can take their sweet time. So next scene with Julia as she goes to get opera lessons because she's having a fuck cancer party for Martina, and she wants to do an opera song for her because Martina listens to opera a lot. I hope she's successful at it. I hear opera's pretty hard to sing. Ooh, well, all right. So we see a flashback of Adriana playing piano and Julia attempting to sing opera. Yeah, she needs a few more lessons. Julia, I like you, but I like my ears more, so fast forward. So next scene with Gertie walking with her husband. She's talking about her cancer diagnosis, her surgery's coming up, how she's gonna tell the kids. I think the husband already told the kids, but I gotta say, in this scene, this is the most I've ever heard him talk. Aww, he's such a fucking supportive husband. I love this couple. Are all her scenes gonna make me misty-eyed? Jesus, this is only episode 3. Oh, I'm fine, I got your back. And he's sexy too? Let's move on. Next scene we're with Lisa in that big ass house she's still in, with her kids. She's complaining to her boyfriend about Lenny, who took the car from her. She has no car now, and he has 3. So he's still being a petty asshole. But ooh, I hope she don't lose this man she got because he's listening to all her problems. It can be a lot. She must be putting it down something serious or giving blowjobs on demand because he is taking on a lot of her baggage. Ooh, Lisa is going through it. I feel for her because that man is trying to crush her spirit. Hopefully the light is at the end of the tunnel for her. Next scene we're with Nicole and her man in their condo, and I swear every scene they're in, you see wealth. So she's talking to her mom right now about baby number 2, the new house they build in, whenever the wedding's gonna be. I will say with Nicole, I wish we could go with her to work and just see her in action. Like, I would just love to see that side of her. Well, all right, Nicole. I mean, her mom is telling her, you know, in Florida, you don't get anything if y'all break up. Like, you need to be married. And then she's like, well, I mean, look at Lisa. She was married, and now she's struggling. Like, financial security does not come from a piece of paper. You make your own financial security. I hear that. So Nicole is saying in the likelihood that her and Anthony break up, she really don't have much to worry about. She's like, yeah, I'll miss the lifestyle. Yeah, I'll miss having my own pilot. But at the end of the day, I can take care of myself. And then I probably won't be single much longer. Talk that talk. And that is why she's my favorite housewife on this show. Next scene we're with Julia and Martina out to lunch. During that conversation, Martina reminds Julia that, my last treatment was 3 days ago. I didn't hear a peep out of you. It made me really upset. And Julia is stone-faced because she was so worried about the opera lessons and surprising her with the fuck cancer party. She forgot. And she can't tell her. Oh, man. Martina says it's okay, but she brought it up. So it definitely bothered her. Oh, so they're being joined by Gertie, who I'm sure would love to hear Martina's experience since she's going through the same thing. So they're having a conversation about her diagnosis, and Martina's telling her what she's been through, and it looks like Gertie, she has a journey ahead of her. Thank God, she got through it. I'm so happy for Gertie. I feel like every scene she's gonna be in, I'm gonna be emotional this season. I thought radiation and chemo was the same thing, but she has to do both? Somebody help me out in the comments. Damn, Martina, she is a straight shooter. Do you want to know about the chemo or not? I love this informative conversation between them. Hell, I'm learning. So we have 2 minutes left. I'm guessing Larsa is going to be the last scene. I can fast forward this bullshit. Let me just see what she's going to talk about, and we'll close this review out. I'm sure y'all tired of hearing me talk. She's talking about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, blah, blah, blah. I was about to fast forward, but we do it 6 hours later. Oh, y'all got me, production. I was about to stop the recording. Oh, so we see a preview of them on the way to the charity event, and Adriana and Marisol go at it. Marisol is saying, "You tried to fuck my ex," and Adriana calls her a drunk. And that is where the episode ends, y'all. I'm so glad to be diving back into Miami. I loved all 3 episodes. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the episodes. And yeah, with that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for Salt Lake City. Bye.